Right, looks like it's Dagger Week. So, with any luck, we'll have Arakni's daggers soon, and we can take a proper look at all the agents. But till then, we have Fang and his Obsidian Fire Vein. So, once per turn attack, pay 1, and then attack. And then if you play a Draconic card, this chain link, this gets +1, and go again. Quite interesting, right? But I can't say I'm too blown away with it just yet. That's kind of because it is very reliant on what else is printed in the set. So the intended interaction is to combo well with Fang's top ability, right? Not so much as bottom, obviously. Playing them for free is definitely fantastic, but fealty generation. So fealty is an instant, destroy this, and then the next card you play is Draconic, meaning that you can turn any attack reaction or any instant card into a Draconic card that you can play on the same chain link as your Obsidian Fire Vein to get it that +1, and it's go again. So as long as we can generate a nice chunk of fealty tokens, we can take any, sort of cards or set up for Fang and his warrior build to make Obsidian Fire Vein really nice to play in combo and, do what seems to be the dagger thing, which is a whole bunch of dagger attacks and going wide. But the question that sort of comes to mind for me, though, is how much will it take, right? What exactly do we need printed for it to overcome Quicksilver Dagger? Because we already have a decent amount of dagger synergy. And I'm not saying take both Quicksilver daggers as Fang. I'm thinking take one Obsidian Fire Vein, proc it with one Draconic attack reaction, one card, and fealty, and then you get your Quicksilver dagger that has go again permanently for the turn and can feed into some of your other cards that, buff a dagger and reward restriking with the same dagger over and over again, even if it has, one less power than the Obsidian Fire Vein. So it does all come down to what ends up getting printed, right? Do we get a bunch of Draconic attack reactions? Do we get a bunch of ways to generate fealty? It's too early to really know how good these daggers are, right? So in my mind, I'm taking one of both, but again, if we just get the right setup, I can definitely see taking two Obsidian Fire Veins. So what does the attack pattern sort of look like? Well, obviously, if you start with an Obsidian Fire Vein, then you need to play a Draconic card on the chain link, meaning you need either a Draconic instance or a Draconic attack reaction or any card with fealty, right? So you got three separate ways to set up your dagger and its go again. Now, the mark mechanic, if they are all Draconic instants for Fang and Cindra, that would be lovely because then you get to surprise mark your opponent, you get the +1, you get the go again, and you get the ability to straight away generate a fealty token to then maybe go into your other dagger, which would definitely be really nice because then you just play any attack reaction that you have as a warrior to then go with a nice 2 dagger turn into something else. You haven't spent too many cards. Heck, if you have enough fealty as Fang, right? And you're playing your daggers for free. So if you can get that discount going, a swing +1 card, then another swing +1 card, and those cards costing you nothing because, most warrior attack reactions are cheap and you can definitely take lines that are cheap. Heck, again, the Proclaim Vengeance and the Long Whisker Loyalty, right? Those 2 cards are 0 cost. So I've spent 2 cards to swing twice, set up 2 Draconic Chain Links, maybe get the Long Whisker Loyalty buff, and then go into something else. That's not a bad turn. Again, you compare it to what we're seeing so far for Cindra, or even Arakni, right? Going stealth, dagger swing, something like that. And it does fall a little flat, right? I was kind of hoping for a 2-power dagger, right? That did have a go again proc to combo well with Quicksilver, so it's sort of your opening dagger, your opening weapon, and then, use Quicksilver. But it's still nice nonetheless, right? Again, it's the sky's the limit, depending on what is printed, whether we're set up just to print fealty left and right as Fang and his just being, completely royal to the Emperor, right? Or if we get the right amount of Draconic cards, either instants or attack reactions, that'll be fine too. But yeah, so how does it compare to, say, playing with the Quicksilver Dagger? Well, this is where it becomes a bit turbulent, right? Because at the moment, if we really want to benefit from the cards we've seen, again, mainly Long Whisker Loyalty, then we want those Draconic chain links just as any Draconic hero really wants. So in this sort of setup where one of our weapons is Draconic, one of our weapons is not, we're sort of looking at playing 2 Draconic cards, then using the Obsidian Fire Vein, then going into our Quicksilver Dagger, right, to get the maximum effect of our Long Whisker Loyalty. Now, it still works out, right? That's 4 cards from hand. You've lost your arsenal to your opponent or used it. So it's not horrible, right? You could even get away with, only playing one Draconic card going Obsidian Firevein, having those 2 Draconic chain links to then go into your Long Whisker Loyalty and follow up with an extra Quicksilver Dagger. But that is heavily reliant on, getting the discount of Fang's ability and having enough of those fealty tokens to make your dagger swings free, in comparison to just taking, say, 2 Obsidian Fireveins, right? Because you get those chain links by using your daggers, it does look a bit more optimistic currently, right? Because you're only playing maybe 1 Draconic card to open, set up a chain link, then you go into your Obsidian Firevein, you have your react or your instant or your card with fealty, right? And then you go into your other swing, and you have a card like Long Whisker Loyalty for a bit more payoff. Now, capitalizing on that though, because you've set all this up to then go into a third final swing with a card like Long Whisker Loyalty, right? It definitely is better with Obsidian Firevein because Long Whisker Loyalty itself is Draconic, right? So you're getting the extra power bonus. So then you get an additional swing, you set up another fealty token because of the mark generation, and you get that additional, I already said additional swing, and you get the +2 power, right, for the Obsidian Firevein to then go into a third swing. So not horrible, right? A 2, and then a +2, and then another 2, right? That's a decent turn. 8 damage over 3 cards plus whatever Draconic opener you're using, right? It's nice, but again, we don't know quite enough just yet. So this is sort of where my mind goes, right? We know fealty is going to be a core mechanic, so as long as Fang can print those fealty tokens, either dagger is fine, all you need is 3, and then your weapon swings are free, and that's really nice. But yeah, if we get more cards like Flurry Stance, where we're generating these additional dagger hits, right, quite readily, then a card like Quicksilver Dagger that we can really capitalize on it with is definitely a lot nicer than just 2 Obsidian Fireveins, because then you have that flexibility where you don't necessarily need an attack reaction or additional card to go with the dagger swing to keep that chain going. So I'm kind of leaning towards taking one of it, both, but again, if we get more Draconic attack reactions where they manually feed into this mechanic and they make sure that your Obsidian Fireveins are proccing and you can chain one to the next, then it's fine. Because the mental thought that I have, right? Every additional attack, if this is the mechanic we're going for with Fang, that he's just going to be, swinging, 3 to 4 times a turn rather than 2 times. Well, each of those additional swings with Obsidian Firevein is costing you an extra card. Because either you're playing a card with fealty, you're playing an instant, or you're playing attack reaction. Either way, you need that extra Draconic card to gain that go again. And even if you're playing an attack reaction to gain go again, it's the same sort of mechanic, right? Whereas with Quicksilver Dagger, as long as you've generated that first instance of go again, you're fine, because your Quicksilver Dagger now is go again for the entirety of the turn. So I do like them synergizing off of one another a lot more than taking 2 Obsidian Fireveins. But yeah, all it will take is the right amount of Draconic attack reactions, or just, an obscene amount of fealty generation where you can get to 3 nice and quickly, and then you can maintain it, right? You go up to 4, 5, and then back down to 3 after your turn, and you just sit at 3+. Then, Obsidian Firevein definitely has major upside waiting for us. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what gets printed, but it's still nice, right? Not as exciting as Cindra, but again, that's because we're working with a lot less cards as it currently stands. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.